Hey there fam, we're back with more Pokemon theories, and today we're going to be doing a theory suggested by one of you guys. Audio 2100 believes that Deoxys was created by the ultimate weapon. As crazy as it sounds, it does look like to have some compelling evidence, so let's get to it. The basis of this theory revolves around one single Pokédex entry from Pokemon Ruby. Quote, "The DNA of a space virus underwent a sudden mutation upon exposure to a laser beam and resulted in Deoxys. The crystalline organ on this Pokemon's chest appears to be its brain." Audio believes that the laser mentioned in the text is none other than the beam from the ultimate weapon. Although it sounds possible, I needed more proof, so I started to research, but I could not put the pieces of the puzzle together. However, when mentioning this theory to my good friend Klaus, whose awesome music you're listening to in the background by the way, found all the compelling evidence I needed, so this video was only made possible by him. For starters, the ultimate weapon had to be able to influence a life form such as a virus to the point that it can mutate. We know that the weapon's original purpose was to give life, and then it was turned into a weapon. We also know that many Pokemon lives were sacrificed in order to create this weapon, and that the Pokemon responsible for life is none other than Xerneas. It isn't here that I would need proof that the weapon was actually infused with Xerneas' power. So Klaus came to the rescue and pointed out that in Anistar City you can find Professor Sycamore, and he tells you the following regarding Megastones. My theory is that they are special stones irradiated by the light, the energy of the legendary Pokemon Xerneas fired from the ultimate weapon 3,000 years ago. Now, I am aware that if you play Pokemon Y, he will mention Yveltal instead. However, since Pokemon is already pointing to parallel universes, it is possible that in one of these universes, Xerneas' powers was used. Now, proving that the ultimate weapon was able to reach a space virus is quite simple. If you look at the cutscenes when the weapon was fired, you clearly see that it was shot upwards, left the atmosphere, and came down with devastating power. So it is at this point that a space virus could have come in contact with the so-called laser beam. Okay, so the final evidence that I would need is to prove that Deoxys is about 3,000 years old, but there is no direct text that can prove this. However, another of his Pokédex entries states the following: "An alien virus that fell to Earth on a meteor underwent a DNA mutation to become this Pokemon." So Klaus pointed out the history of the Draconids. When you meet Zinnia in the Sky Pillar during her conversation in the first floor, she states the following: "Thousands of years ago, in the primal age long lost, the world was overflowing with natural energy. Primal Groudon and Primal Kyogre fought over that energy in endless furious clashes. In the face of Primal Groudon and Kyogre's great power, people could do nothing. The only choice was to watch as disaster upon disaster swept over them. It was in such a time that a great many meteors poured from the darkness of space, from a place higher even than the heavens, and the meteors fell on their multitude upon a waterfall that had long been home to the tribe of the dragon-type Pokemon users." So, it could mean that it was during this period that one of the many meteors contained a space virus. Before crashing to Earth, it was nearly destroyed as it almost came into full contact with the strange beam. The energy irradiated from this beam resulted in the mutation of that space virus, and thus Deoxys was born. But then it would mean that AZ must have existed during the time of the Draconids. So here's the last piece of evidence. When talking to Zinnia in the 4th floor of the Sky Pillar, she states the following: "The wind and emerald light visibly sapped the power from Primal Groudon and Primal Kyogre. Drained of their primal powers, the two vanished into the depths of the land and sea. Rayquaza watched them go, regaining its usual appearance. Then it soared back up into the heavens where it dwelled. A witness to this series of events, a tall visitor from a distant land, said, 'It is the Delta, born of great disturbances in the world, by the bonds born of mankind's wishes and the power of the stones. It will calm the troubles that plague the world.' That was when the Draconids constructed their great tower to hold a rainbow stone that had granted Rayquaza its power, and tried to get a little bit closer to Rayquaza in the heavens above. So yeah, I am sure you know who that tall visitor is. So there you have it fam, I hope that you enjoyed this video and help everyone that made it possible by checking their channels out. Links are in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, Pokemon fans.